Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Hi.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Great. So first, congratulations.
Oh, yeah,
That's so
thanks.
great. That must have been a nice letter to get in the mail, I'm guessing. Or was it email, I guess?
It was email, but like at first it was like kind of confusing. They're just kind of like sending me to the grading thing. So just
Okay.
joined that and I'm like a little bit uncertain. I'm like, oh, did I get it? Oh, I guess I did. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
good.
that's so great. So yeah, I basically anyone that gets in, I'm kind of reaching out to ask if we can have a little session just to kind of go over your portfolio. I've got your portfolio right here, and I would love to like hear what you thought because I'm always this is both for me and for our future students because I like
Right.
to know what like if there's any gaps that we're missing or if there's any additional advice that I have forgotten about because I haven't done the
Hmm.
portfolio for so long. So it's kind of just like a free for all. I would love to just go through your portfolio pieces, but also I'm. Is it okay if I record this and then maybe use parts of it on our website to like help other students?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sweet,
I'll be okay with that.
awesome. Okay, so let's go. Let's maybe start with your character or something.
Yeah,
That would be a
sure.
good place to start. Wow, this is so cool. Actually, wait. Let's see. Let's have your scorecard too. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The
great.
thing that was weird with this one is like when you submit they don't ask for one anymore. They asked for like what was it, like five?
Five
So
what?
that's why like all of it it's in like separate five images.
Oh,
Like
oh, I see.
four, I
Not
mean, yeah.
not like this. They want to see each individual image.
Yeah, so that was something I think I did differently this time.
Huh, neat.
Mm,
And was this entirely digital for you?
yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so that pretty much confirms the the age-old question of whether you can do it digitally because you got perfect on your character rotation. So that's
Yeah.
really great to see that they I'm glad. I'm glad that they've migrated. I kept thinking that they probably wouldn't take any marks off for digital, but they definitely haven't. So
Yeah.
really great. Yeah, really dynamic
Hmm.
character. And also another thing that I like that you did was that your character was super graphic, like not so rounded in the traditional kind of Disney like sense. So tell me about
Yeah.
that.
Um, yeah, so basically like I'm very inspired by like kind of the 90s like TV like cartoon aesthetic, how it's all kind of like very like relying on like shapes and like simple like what do you call it? Like sharp edges and all that.
Yeah,
Um So going into this, I just kind of did what I like to do. I didn't really kind of try to like go for that Disney look, which is probably what a lot of people
yeah.
kind of do.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
That's great. Yeah, and very like your shape language is really great. Like just like
mhm.
the shapes are so
um,
interesting and they almost like change from view to view.
yeah, yeah. Uh, Another thing, like at the when I was thinking of a character, I kind of just like thought of like a huge concept to kind of base it around.
Yeah.
So like I think that's important is to kind of like come up with a story first before you like kind of make a character and just look through a bunch of like inspirations and all that. Just know what you like. I think before this, you have to kind of
Yeah.
figure that stuff out before you kind of jump into it. Is you gotta
Yeah.
really what do you call it? Just research, I guess.
Yeah, and just kind of don't try to be someone else. Don't try to draw like someone else. Just like draw
Hmm.
in the kind of style that you really like best, and just try to do your best job within that domain. That's really
Hmm.
good to know. Because again, like I often encourage students to draw like more three-dimensional, rounded kind of characters, but
Yeah.
I that's because I remember for many years they didn't like to see like super graphic shapes because it sometimes wouldn't translate well to rotation. But you've
Mm.
taken on that challenge and you've got perfect on your character's rotation. So that's really great to see.
Yeah.
So it seems like the people that were marking my portfolios were totally different than who are marking now because it's so Well, or maybe you're just being, it's a really good example of doing something in a graphic way versus like many people try to do the graphic
Mhm.
approach and they fall a little bit short.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, what was I gonna say? Um, I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit. We can go on to the next part if you want.
Sure, yeah, maybe figure drawing.
Sure.
Awesome. So these were your long
Yeah, I
poses.
think this part, um, when I was doing this, I wasn't sure if this was too messy or
Mm,
not.
yeah,
That's what, but I think, like after this, I joined the Facebook group, and I think that was
yeah,
one of the, I think there was a lot of help. They kind of said like, "Oh, it looks fine" and stuff,
yeah.
and
That's great.
that kind of reassured me a little bit. I wasn't sure if I would have submitted it if it wasn't for them, like their
Yeah,
critiques and stuff.
awesome. Um, so you're using pencil here, am I correct?
Yeah,
And
I
this is just in
use.
like a small sketchbook, kind of.
I started with a small sketchbook, but I realized that was a bad idea, and then I kind of bought a bigger one, and that like kind of helped a lot. Because I
Yeah,
think you need like a bigger sketchbook to do a lot of these things, which I
yeah.
realized.
Awesome. Yeah. And had
I
you
don't know. I
studied
just
like anatomy prior to doing this? Like, how much would you recommend for other students?
um I did study. I think I just like looked at videos, like some of them, and
Yeah.
then after that, I just kind of kept practicing on the websites,
Yeah.
and I kind of started off drawing it digitally, and then yeah, sure.
No, what were you going to say? That was interesting. You started off drawing digitally, and
Oh yeah, I just started off like practicing digitally, and then moving to traditional was a bit of a struggle for me because I'm not used to all that.
yeah,
But I think doing it digital or doing it traditionally, I kind of learned a lot.
yeah, that's great.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that one's sweet. Very dynamic. It does feel like it's moving, like they want to see.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so here hand drawing. So tell me about this process.
Um, with this one, I kind of like did a lot of drafts, kind of. Well, I started this off okay. Like everything, I always kind of start off digitally because that's what I'm comfortable with. So these were originally done digital, and then I kind of I think it's easier to start that way because you can kind of I think digital is easier to kind of work with for me. So
Yeah.
I did that first, and then afterwards I put it on traditional and just like kind of sketch the exact same thing,
Nice. Yeah,
which is
that's one way to do it. It's funny
yeah.
'cause I remember with my character design, I did that, or I did so many sketches, and then I just kept like cleaning it up, and then I would add the underdrawing afterwards. That's almost kind of the same approach where it's like,
Yeah.
well, it's already
Um,
done, but I guess I'll add the structure for your sake.
like before I went to traditional, I was like thinking like, oh, can I just submit this like this, like digital? And in the
Mm,
Facebook group, they said like, oh, because it's in the same section as the what was it?
the figure drawing.
The figure drawing. It's better to do it like traditional. So I just decided
Yeah.
to do it traditionally. Yeah.
And who knows, like I've had other students that were doing their hand digitally. I don't know if your lines maintain this expressive quality and the drawing is still very solid. I just don't think they would take marks off for that. I think they look for above everything
Hmm.
just the believability of the drawing. Could it be
Yeah.
this? Does it make sense?
But another thing I did here is I I put in Photoshop and kind of tried to make it look a lot better because like as you can see, like the hand is like more whiter than like the background,
Yeah, yeah, I did notice that. That's interesting.
which is what I tried to kind of. But I looked at some tutorials online of how to do that. I forget what the person was, but it was really helpful. It's just basically just kind of changing the contrast and all that,
Yeah,
and I just did something different with it, which is
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of cool. I
yeah. It makes it stand out.
like the outlook on it.
Awesome. All right, let's move on to this awesome stuff. This is your
This is
background or this is a
it.
personal
Oh
piece?
no, this is just a personal piece.
Awesome.
So that's my room. I did like a room drawing before. I just wanted to do it again, but better this
Yeah.
time. But
Awesome.
yeah, I just did like a day night version of my room, which is I thought
Cool.
was pretty cool.
I love like even your stylization that is present in your character design is here as well. It still has this like this almost like sharp edged graphic kind of feeling to it. Like you said, like
Mhm.
a 90s TV show. So that's
Yeah.
nice to see that this is what I often tell students too, is that you should consider stylizing your entire portfolio to something, to whatever you like in
Mhm.
subject matter, but also just in how you draw it all in a similar kind of way. And you really have here. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people kinda I feel like you should always kinda make the work for yourself kinda, and not just overly try to impress what you think they would like kinda. I think it's more
Yeah.
fun that way and, like, kinda easier to work if you're kind of making what you like instead
Yeah,
of what you think
definitely.
other people would like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it seems like you really enjoyed doing this. Like it seems like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh, yeah, and this was a thing this was actually like like a schoolwork, it was like a mural.
Okay.
I was confused at first if they prefer that because it says no schoolwork, but I asked them in the Facebook group, and they say, like, that actually means for, like, fundamentals people, but they don't mind it, like, high school work, as long as it's good, I guess. But,
Yeah. I think
this
that's
one, like,
it.
I wasn't yeah. This one I wasn't sure, like, if, I wasn't sure I was gonna put this one in, but, like, I kinda just put this in for variety's sake because I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of traditional, like, painting stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but,
And it's still got that
yeah.
same like Owen mark on it.
Yeah.
Like it's still got your style, which is great.
Yeah, yeah.
So how about this one? This is your
Oh,
perspective.
yeah, and this is one of the backgrounds. I don't think I got too well on this one. I forget what
Really?
mark I got. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I've got that open too. So perspective line drawings, 10 out of 15. Okay.
Yeah. Which I was kinda surprised with. I was really happy with my,
Yeah.
perspective one, so I'm not sure why. It was docked a lot of marks off, I'm not sure.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
It could be the
Maybe just too
perspective.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like maybe like a lot of the perspective is working, especially the roof and the servers over here and the screens. Um,
Mhm,
this piece here starts to break perspective a little bit, but to me, when I look at that, I'm
mhm,
like, that's just part of the stylization of this drawing. Like it's almost got this
mhm.
fisheye kind of look. So you're kind of caricaturing perspective, but maybe they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we want to see like realistic perspective in this because I don't know, to
Yeah.
prove that you can do it, because it's once you can manipulate perspective, or once you can understand perspective, then you can manipulate it. But you've kind of contorted that. I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe that is and it's these two drawings are both in that mark, right? So this is part of it as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, I don't know. It's tricky because I really like this one. Like it has this great, and I love how you
Yeah.
have a distinct foreground, middle ground, and background, and then like you've even got a clear story going on here. So
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a mystery.
But, one of the things that helped me with the perspective, I think, like, the biggest tip I can say is with the what was it? The interior perspective one.
Yeah.
I say the thing that helps the most is to kinda, like, sketch everything super roughly at first and don't worry about the grid, and then afterwards, like, draw it again, but put the grid in and then, like, see how everything works that way. Because I think, um, it's just better for layout just to, like, sketch what you think what it would look like, and then afterwards just keep going from that, I guess.
Yeah, so don't I that's a great piece of advice, because I find a lot of people when they start drawing in perspective first, it tightens them up immediately, and they can't just
Yeah.
be creative and expressive and have fun with their drawing. It becomes like more of like a mathematical problem to solve, versus just kind of
Mhm.
getting everything in there, getting all the pieces. Like one thing that I really love about this is that it has such a character to it. Like there's such a
Yeah.
story here, and like everything has this
Oh,
grungy kind of like worn aesthetic. So what were you gonna say?
I forgot. This was, like, the second version because the character originally was, like it was, like, really kinda confusing, but I kept it anyways because like, I don't know. I think I just didn't really wanna go back, and I was kinda happy with it, But
Yeah.
I did a thing for my personal, like you can see all the different drafts. But
Mm.
I kind of went back at it and like made him more understandable because a lot of people didn't understand what this chord was, what was going on. He's like playing VR, but it's like coming from the ceiling, kind of, or like I mean the wall.
Yeah. This chord, you mean, that goes
But just
from.
the original, yeah, just
Oh, I
the
see.
original pose was like very like unclear. So I just
Okay.
went back at it and I
Yeah, I think I remember some of those early sketches
fixed it up.
during our courses.
Mhm.
Neat. Um, let's just see. Let's. Oh wait, where's is the personal piece here that you mentioned? Oh no.
I think it's in one of the PDFs there.
Oh yeah, sketches study probably. All right.
I think it's the color one.
Oh, that's from life. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Ah, keeps going to my other screen. Here it is. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. I love the. I love it at
So
nighttime.
yeah.
Oh,
So I
nice.
was yeah. I just wanted to show the progress, kind of.
The nice thing about this that like because you know digital, I feel like you're using digital for what it's really, really great at, which is like a lot of concepts. You can do so much so
Yeah.
quickly without having to like, because if you were to do like a paint or marker rendering of this scene or something and change the lighting multiple times, that'd take probably a lot of time. But digitally, you can just
Hmm.
kind of like mess that around and change colors and stuff. And yeah, you're using it for what it's good at, basically. That's great. Okay, so here
Yeah.
we are here. Here's the scene without the character. And then here we're getting to some of the rough. Oh yeah, he was on the ground, kind of like blissing out in VR world. Oh, I see. In this one
Hmm.
too, when he's like, I kind of love that, but I can see, yeah, like your
Yeah.
current one makes more sense because he's like he's holding a controller, whereas this one he's got, I
Yeah. Because
guess,
some
one of those
people,
like finger manipulator type things.
yeah, some people thought like it was like something like attacking him because he looked scared or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
It was
like
just more like a
something.
confusing post, which is why.
Yeah. Yeah, if you had more time to set it up, like if you could build into that like a storyboard, then it could make sense. But if we just get one
Hmm.
shot, yeah, this one's definitely more clear. I also really like,
Yeah.
for anyone else that is watching this, the way that you've gradated your line darknesses and thicknesses as it goes back into space.
Hmm.
Because this could, if everything was an equal weight, especially this weight in the foreground here, that dark, thick line weight, this could get really busy and confusing. But the way that so
Hmm.
yeah, the lines are getting thinner as they go back, but also, especially this is important in the background here, is that you've brought they're a little bit lighter in value. So everything in the
Hmm.
middle ground, it immediately gives it like almost like a pseudo depth of field, basically.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I love seeing the progression. I think that was probably a great idea. How did you do on your personal work? Let's see. Oh yeah, 10 out of 10. Yeah, I always say they love seeing progress. So like always show progress. Let's see, where do we get to? Let's
Yeah.
have a look at your animation. That was
Sure.
this is so fun. So tell me about this.
um. So I did this one. I forget what it was on. I used some digital animation thing. I think it was. Let me see. How do I get this? I forget what it was, but oh, it was Krita. So I used Krita for that, and
Krita. Could you spell
yeah,
that like Krita?
Krita.
Huh. Okay. Cool. Is it
Um,
free?
yeah, it's a free one.
Amazing.
It's not too bad. I liked it, but
Cool.
yeah, with this I was originally gonna have it like drink some like fluids and then it's gonna do something, but I decided to make it more simple because
Yeah.
there's like a limit to how many frames or
Yeah.
images you can have, and
Mm.
I don't want to go over that limit. I originally
Yeah.
thought, yeah, I originally thought this was too many, but I had to kind of reduce some of the frames, but it turned out
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, I'm curious. So it says 24 to 48 drawings, right? So I
Yeah.
see that yours is on my VLC, it says 5 seconds. I'm guessing it was 48 frames. But is that like 48 drawn frames, or is each frame doubled on an exposure of
I
2?
think it means like drawn frame. So like
Ah, okay,
the
great.
in-betweens don't count, I don't think.
Okay, awesome. Um, yeah, so you can have each drawing kind of, because that's a common thing for anyone watching, again, like just that animation isn't typically every single frame drawn in 24 frames a second. Usually it's like 12 frames drawn in 24 frames a second. So each drawing is sort of held for one additional frame, and it still gives you a very fluid looking animation. And so I was always curious about that
Mhm.
detail, because it's like 24 to 48 drawings. It's like, does that mean drawings? So that means like 48, it could really be, what is that, like 96, I guess. But I think, I don't know, yours is about, at the end, probably about 48 frames. So you probably have 24 actual drawings maybe that are just exposed twice to 2 frames each.
I think it was like exactly the like maximum amount
Yeah.
of drawings.
Okay. Neat.
But but yeah, this was my first animation, like real one.
Nice.
I think like I watched a video that really helped me a lot. I think it's just like talking about the basics of like animation, which everything kind of has to have some kind of build up before
Yeah.
completing an action. So
Yeah.
that's something I try to do a lot. Like each drawing has to have like some sort of build up to what it's going to do, and you have to kind of like exaggerate it more in
Yeah.
animation, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. And I mean, why animate if it's just going to be very
And
realistic, right?
yeah, and with movement, like as it goes up, kind of there's like the straw has a different like delay,
Yeah.
like a delay to the juice box, so it kind of flings around a bit.
Yeah, yeah. And you've even distorted the width of the straw depending on what it's doing and how it's interacting. It almost like flattens out like a pancake, and then it kind of comes
Yeah.
back to its original form.
Hmm.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's basically supposed to just be like coming up a trash can. I don't know if that looks super clear, but
Oh yeah. It's
yeah.
like nice. Yeah, it's nice to see
So
the cartooniness of it. It has that bounciness to it, like especially the back as it's about to, it anticipates kind of pushing itself back up, which is cool. Almost like it's like
mhm.
a animalistic or human form or something.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right, your storyboard. Tell me about your storyboard. How did you do on that? That's one of the lowest marks typically in the portfolio. You did 20 out of 25. That's pretty awesome. So yeah, tell me about this.
This one was I didn't like this one. It's just because I had to redo this one a lot.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Well, on my previous drafts, like it didn't really follow the model too clearly,
yeah,
and when I posted to the what was it, the Facebook group that would say like it's off model, and I had to kind of keep doing it because I kind of didn't really understand that concept.
yeah,
So I feel like this one, like I'm used to doing my own stuff, but this one kind of like really limits you. You have to really
yeah.
follow the character model, which is what
Exactly.
I'm not used to at all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny
So
because for your case, like your natural drawing style is very stylized, whereas this is more of a traditional three-dimensional kind of rounded kind of character.
yeah,
So I can see this being a difficult thing for you for sure.
yeah, I had to draw really differently for this one, which is what I was not used to. But I don't know. I think the end concept it's okay. It's not my best, I guess, but
Yeah. I love
I don't know.
I love this last pose of the possum. I think that's really strong, like really great expression.
Yeah, I like
and
that one
uh
too.
and just like the surprise, which is the theme of this year, right? It was the surprise.
Hmm.
um
No, it was don't was it don't judge a book by its cover, I think.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, kind of similar kind of idea.
yeah. But
um
that's like the
yeah.
sorry, I cut out.
Uh-oh. Yeah, yeah, you cut out too. um what were you gonna say? Do you remember your thought?
No, I forgot.
um yeah, like I love the transition and how
Hmm.
you cut away in the third panel, because if you showed this is one thing that I find a lot of students do is they show it progress, so there's no surprise at the end. Whereas like you got to set up your punchline and then you got to deliver on it in a surprising way. Versus like if your
Yeah.
third shot also included that little it's a little rabbit, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, if you included that rabbit slowly getting bigger, then you've killed the funniness of the last shot. But because you've changed the angle and the possum's concentrating on the referee that's blowing the whistle, it's like, you get that moment where it's like, what's going on with the rabbit? We don't see it in that frame. So
Yeah.
that's really nice.
Yeah, I think the story works, but I'm not sure like why I got um was it 5 off?
Yeah. Well, that's still pretty good. What is that? That's like, I can't do that math in my head, but that's why I went into art.
Yeah.
20 divided by 25. Yeah, that's 80%. So that's an 8 out of 10 basically. That's
Yeah.
that's really not that bad. Also, I love that you've broken again with your line quality. You differentiated the foreground from the background, and the lightness and darknesses that
Mhm.
you've added digitally really help. Obviously, it seems like basically what seems to be happening is that a lot of the previous rules that were so rigid are loosening up, especially in terms of stylization and medium. Then
Mhm.
it used from when I did the portfolio, which is really great because again, like so many students are drawing digitally these days that it's like, just let them do whatever they want
Yeah.
to do.
And I mean
It's really
that's
not about the medium; it's about how you draw and the quality of your drawing.
and yeah, and that's pretty much what you're gonna use in uh was it Sheridan for the most part, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, for sure. So many Cintiqs now, like all the students are
so
using.
yeah.
Let's see if we missed anything. We got that. Sketches. This is the last piece, I think. This is some more like
Oh
some
yeah.
sketchbook stuff.
Yeah, I kind of had to dig for this one cuz I don't do too many sketches, so I
Yeah,
included some like um stuff from the digital as well. Yeah.
nice. But you've got a nice variety: hands, different characters, more realistic people, different angles of a head. That's yeah, cool.
Just studying stuff, and that was that drawing there was some sketches for a or like was it the other one there?
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that one was for my character rotation. There's
Oh, nice.
just like early
So,
sketches for that.
oh, cool. So it's yeah, that's good to see too, right? It's just
Mhm.
like the progression of your character.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So do you have like we've seen your whole portfolio now, gone through it. Do you have any kind of overarching tips for people that are doing the portfolio beyond anything that you might have mentioned so far?
Um I guess like if you're going in now, like it's good to start just practicing like a lot
Yeah,
before actually doing the actual like portfolio stuff.
yeah,
Um just practice with anatomy a lot. I constantly just did figure drawing and stuff, and I think like after knowing all that stuff, like drawing would be like a lot easier, just because
yeah.
like a lot about anatomy and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I would say like just come up with. I think a thing that would help you with this is just come up with like a whole story or like a world concept, and I think that would make a lot of the portfolio stuff like easier because you kind of have your own take on it. I think that's something that might be like good for people to
Yeah,
do.
I
'Cause
also
it's
always
like some people
advise
make
that.
it so like, the character, what was it? The character, the perspective and all that, it's all in the same kinda world,
Yeah,
which is kinda cool. You should probably do that.
yeah, yeah. It just helps
Um,
unify your portfolio a little bit too.
mhm. Uh, um, I guess just like, uh, I don't know, I guess the thing that was good for me is, like, having a style. I think that's hard for a lot of people. Just I think, like, finding a style and all that.
Yeah,
But, for me, it's just finding, like, inspiration and what you like, and,
yeah,
uh, a lot of it's just, like, if there's, like, an art style, it's kind of you kinda have to copy it a little bit, but then also have some other takes on it, which kinda makes it more your own, I guess,
yeah, yeah.
if
Totally
that makes sense.
neat.
Um,
Yeah. Was there anything that you did
But
that you wouldn't
yeah,
do next time? Oh, sorry. Your voice came in late there.
I didn't say anything
Oh, okay.
there, but uh, for next time, like if I was to do it, if I messed up on, let me think. I guess like with let me think. Hmm. I guess with the figure drawing, um, like let me. I guess like when you actually go to was it to the sessions,
Yeah.
like the figure drawing sessions, is to warm up before you go in. Because I went to yours like a few times and I didn't like warm up
Yeah.
beforehand, and jumping into it, it's like you don't make a lot of good drawings. But like if you kind of warm up beforehand, then it's
Yeah.
better you'll get better results.
That's a great point because like you need those, especially the way that mine is structured is it starts, we kind of front load it with the
Yeah,
gesture drawings. So
yeah,
everyone is like the least
yeah,
prepared to do those gesture drawings, which is mostly what you need.
yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I hope I said enough, but I was thinking of
No, it's
maybe
super
doing
helpful.
because a lot of people do their video like a video of like if they got accepted or not, and like kind of
Yeah,
give their tips. I might do one of those.
that's a great idea.
Just
That's
jump on
super
the
helpful.
trend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. And it's a good reflection. It's good to process your artwork. You know, so much of the time, especially when you're in school, you're kind of just churning it out like a art factory. But it's like you need also time to kind of digest it and to process what you've done and to think about it and to be
Yeah.
critical about it and to also celebrate what you did right about it. Those kind of things I find are super valuable. And I even with my professional
Mhm.
freelance stuff, I find it's good to reflect and go over sometimes and just see what I would change in the future or if anything, or if maybe it was great. So it's really, really great to hear from you. And my only last question is like when did you start your portfolio and was that enough time?
I think I kind of started it like a few months beforehand,
Yeah.
and I think it gave me enough time. But like I think the last month, I think leave the last month, like the final month, to kind of just uh more like like edit things slightly, like small edits and all
That's a good
that. But
idea.
everything should be pretty much done beforehand.
Good
Another tip,
idea. Yeah.
yeah. Another tip I should say, like something I did was like work on don't go like, oh, I'm gonna work on this beginning to end, and then move on to the next one after that. I would say just work on everything at the same time,
Yeah.
and then like kind of work. I'm gonna work on the I don't know, perspective for a bit, and then like if you're gonna be doing that for like a long time, you're gonna get kind of, I don't know, bored of it, or like you're just gonna be too much focus on that, and then moving on to the next thing, you're kind of gonna be like a little bit unprepared because you're so used to
Yeah.
doing the other thing.
Yeah,
But
for
I'd say
sure.
like work on something for a little bit and then move on to something else and then work on them all kind of simultaneously
Yeah.
until, I don't know, they all kind of work up to the end. I
Yeah.
think that's a better way to start it than
And,
like
and
the
that
other
keeps it
way.
fresh too, right? So that you're not ever super bored or stuck. You don't get as much
Yeah.
plateaus or creative plateaus. You can kind of switch gears when you need to.
Mhm. Yeah,
Awesome.
I think that's a better way to work on it.
Yeah. Great.
Um,
Well, yeah. Do you have
what
anything
else should
else
I?
to
Thought I had something else, but I forgot.
add? Well, this has
But I
been great.
guess
Like you
moving
got,
forward now,
yeah,
sorry. I guess moving forward now, I just gotta, I don't know, figure out residence and stuff for like
yeah,
moving out.
yeah. That fun
I
stuff.
I think residence there is pretty expensive too, so I gotta think
Probably.
of something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's also the Rabba buildings that are right across from Sheridan. That's where like so funny because it's like just residential apartment buildings, not specifically student housing, but so many students live in them, and it was like just
Yeah.
chock a block full of Sheridan students. So I don't know, you're pretty close if you do that. I lived a little further away, but I did live in residence my first year, so yeah, it was just although I also did art fundamentals, so it was my first year in college in general. And so it was a nice soft landing
Mhm.
into it where I was like attached to the school. So in the middle of winter, I just would like, I wouldn't even have to leave the building technically to get to classes because it's attached. But yeah, after that,
Right.
I lived quite far away. It was a bit of a walk. It was like 30-minute walk, but I don't know. It was kind of nice in a way to be not super close to the school. But yeah,
Yeah. Alright.
yeah. But yeah, we can chat about that some more time anytime you need. But yeah, thanks so much for your feedback, Owen. It was great to like go through the process with you, and I hope this
Yeah.
helps our students that we have in the future.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Awesome. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you later. And good luck at Sheridan.
Alright, thanks.
All right, see ya.
Alright.